p.m.
Hi, I'm Tracy Hales-Vass, writer, retired professor of creative writing, and founder of One Book, One Community. I now host Right On Four Corners every Wednesday, 10:30 to 11, when I'll talk to local and regional authors. So please join me Wednesdays here on 90.9 FM, KSJE, Farmington.
Tune into Turntable Taxi on KSJE Saturday nights at 8 o'clock. Each week, we select a musical style and play 78s, 45s, and 33 RPM records. Some of our themes will include swing music, blues, heart-wrenching torch songs, early rock and roll, girl groups, soul, and R&B.
Robots the size of blood cells, Earth-like planets outside the solar system, science fiction.
No, science faction.
Join us, Seth Shostak and
Molly Bentley and
KSJE Saturday mornings at 8 a.m. for Big Picture Science.
Big Picture Science steps back to get the wide-angle view on science and technology.
So think big. Big Picture Science, Saturdays at 8 a.m.
on KSJE, the information and cultural beacon of the Four Corners.
KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, your community hospital with a rich heritage that dates back to before New Mexico was a state. We've been improving the health of the Four Corners since 1910. As a nonprofit hospital, San Juan Regional Medical Center is a values-driven organization. We strive to deliver on our mission to personalize health care and create vitality and enthusiasm in healing. We are here for you when you need us, offering a comprehensive range of inpatient, outpatient, and emergency care services. (8:27) KSJE, you're listening to the Scott Michlin Morning Program. Good morning, everybody, and a special welcome to our viewers who are watching us live on the KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. I want to talk a little bit about the weather forecast because we do have a change in the weather coming up in the next few days. Look, so far this morning, though, we still have a pretty sunny day to start, but we did have some nice clouds, a nice sunrise earlier. That's a shot of, for those of you who are watching us live, a shot from our tower cam here at San Juan College of the sunrise this morning. But the forecast calls for a little change coming up. Partly sunny today, 56 for a high. That's about the warmest it's going to be for quite a while. Overnight, though, developing rain and snow showers tonight, low of 32. 44 then for a high tomorrow with more rain and snow in the forecast. 27 for Friday night. 40 for high on Saturday, only getting up to 35 by Sunday. Monday much colder at 31, and the overnight low Monday night, take a look with clear skies, 8 degrees. So big change in the weather. We certainly appreciate the precipitation and the rain and snow. Can certainly do more of that in the mountains than it will do here in the city, but do be aware if you're traveling this week and weekend of the changing weather conditions. Well, now on the program, my guest here in the studio, Heath Cates, is here, and it's great to see you. Good morning.
Good morning, Scott. Good morning out there, Farmington and local areas.
That's right.
Thank you.
You
Thank
bet.
you so much for having me today.
It's good to have you here, our visual radio studio. As I mentioned, when we have the two-shot of us together here on our screen, it looks like a before and after ad for something. I would be the before, and you would be the after.
Are you sure it's not the
yes,
other way
sir.
around?
No, I'm positive that that's the way it would be.
You're too kind, Scott. It's good to see you, my man.
It's good to see you, too. Yeah. You and I worked together in the Sandstone Productions back in, what, 2013,
2013 in the production of Grease.
Grease out
at you guys remember that one? It was a great show.
We had a lot of fun together.
Favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you are you kind of got away from acting for a bit, and now you're getting back into acting, which is why I brought you on the show to talk a little bit about your projects and a little bit about the acting opportunities in New Mexico, because our state really is investing, I think, in the motion picture industry.
They are.
And there's a lot of opportunities, perhaps, for folks
So
these
many
days.
opportunities. I'm grateful to come and talk with you about it today. The state is making some large investments. I'm sure you've heard of Netflix. Netflix has come in and purchased Albuquerque Studios.
Right.
which is so huge. Netflix is a European. Their main base is in Europe.
Really?
So having a hub here in New Mexico is huge because they shoot productions nonstop.
Well, they're doing more and more of their own productions, right?
Absolutely.
They're not just a place to watch other people's movies. They're now doing their own series and things, right?
Absolutely, they're their own complete network, their own entity. So they're pushing out projects left and right.
Okay.
So it's such a great thing. I think their contract with the state of New Mexico now is they have to projectively spend about $1 billion here in New Mexico over the next decade, I believe.
Okay.
And that provides so many opportunities for us New Mexicans, job opportunities. I think Netflix has to hire about 1,000 people down in Albuquerque for their productions, which is great. You know, they're already producing job opportunities here in New Mexico. But one thing that we have to understand is that it's such a great opportunity for us up here in Farmington as well, and all over the state, because Netflix is going to want to shoot in a lot of different areas. I'm working alongside a good friend of mine, Brent Garcia, who's starting up a production company here.
Right.
He's trying to get a soundstage built, office space, studio space. He's trying to get some mobile rigs equipped so we can do some location shooting.
Nice. Because what these companies are looking for, right, is maybe, you know, they've got their actors and they've got their directors and producers, but the crews, the field crews, the ground crews, could come from the local community. Is
Absolutely.
that the idea?
That's the idea. That's what we want to kind of create here. That's what Brent Garcia has really been working on for the past 2 years, really. And now it's starting to come to light because we're starting to get some key people, you know, with their eyes kind of open now to see the potential of what the film industry can bring as far as financially to our economy. And you know, as well as I do, we need some help up here in Farmington.
Right. Well, there's lots of talk about diversifying the economy. There's no reason why film and the entertainment industry can't be a player in that.
Absolutely.
And we've got a lot of great vistas and a lot of great scenery that I think other filmmakers have already discovered.
Right.
And really like maybe shooting in this area where you don't have jets flying over every 5 minutes or railroad or highway zooming by and whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, our local film liaison up here gets calls all the time from independent filmmakers, from low budgets to massive budgets.
Right.
And there is a lot of interest in this area, like you just said. We have so many great landscapes within 60 minutes either direction.
Right.
So filming up here would be amazing, but it's just like you said, we don't right now have the resources to accommodate these production companies. Therefore, they have to, you know, caravan crews of hundreds of people up here, and to where that can get very expensive. So what Brent Garcia has in the works is an amazing opportunity for you guys that are ever interested in, you know, being part of a film production, from A to Z, from being a grip to being an extra to being a cameraman. Brent Garcia is going to start offering workshops as far as helping people learn those trades.
Okay. Sounds like he could be my next guest.
Absolutely.
We need to get him on here, right?
Yes, we absolutely need to get him on here. I'm actually on the board of his nonprofit company that it's called Four Corners International Film Festival.
All right.
So this September 10th through September 15th, he's going to be putting on a huge film festival here in Farmington. Nice. And we're really trying to get that to become one of the biggest film festivals in the state.
Okay.
So that's a large project that we've started working on. We've had 2 board meetings already on that. So that's going to be a great opportunity to come and learn. We're going to try to bring a lot of people up to have some awesome panels, from acting to directing to the whole industry as a whole. So so stay tuned for all that good stuff coming up.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you are here because you are already doing something of your own, which is more on the acting track for folks. And you've started your Kate's Academy, if you will, and talk to me a little bit about that. That's going to hit the ground in January.
Absolutely. It's already hit the ground.
Oh, okay.
We've been putting some workshops on over the past couple months, but officially, Kate's Creative will start January 7th and run to May 24th. So what it is in coalition with the Farmington Civic Center, who's sponsoring a lot of the classes. We'll be putting on acting classes, improv classes, vocal classes, musical theater classes, and it's not just for kids. It's going to be for all ages, so teens, adults, We're going to have an amazing time with these classes. We've already had a lot of kids come out and be part of our improv classes, and it's been amazing. It's been really great. The kids have absolutely loved it.
I bet.
So I'm really excited. As you know, I've been an actor since 2004, and
talk to me a little bit about that, because maybe folks don't know you as an actor.
Right.
They may know you as a bodybuilder. They may know you as a fitness guy. They may know you from Sandstone. But you were in California for
jack of all trades
a while. You were in Southern California. You were cast in several productions, and so you kind of have that insight that a lot of us don't have about how the inner workings do work in Hollywood.
Well, you know, like any naive young lad, in 2003, I moved out to LA thinking, you know, I'd walk along the beach and Mel Gibson would come up and tap me on the back and say, "Hey, you're perfect for my next Braveheart movie. You know, let me pick you up and take you on."
Right.
Did
that happen?
No.
Oh,
No. I'm still waiting.
Okay.
I'm still waiting.
Well.
Although there's no beaches around here, but no. Yes, the acting industry is tough. It's cutthroat. I was in LA for 4.5 years. I was a SAG-AFTRA actor out there.
That's the union.
That's part
Screen
of the union.
Actors Guild, and
Screen Actors
AFTRA
Guild
stands for something else.
Yeah.
But that's the two unions you need to be a part of if you want even to get a callback from anybody, right?
Absolutely, and they're actually one union now. They actually
merged.
They merged, I want to say, about 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
But yes, so if you want to pursue acting as a profession, you have to become part of the union, and it can be incredibly hard. So yeah, going out to LA, I was kind of in for a treat, in for a surprise. It was. It took a lot of hitting the pavement and meeting certain people and getting information on the route to go, because there's so much that you have to do. You know, you have to pursue getting an agent, because to get in front of a casting director, you have to have an agent. You know,
you can't just call on your own.
It goes down the pipeline. You know what I'm saying? A production writes a show. They write a list of characters. They got to cast those characters. So the producers, directors get a hold of your local casting directors, and they'll say, "Hey, these are the parts that we're going to cast. Submit these to your local agents." So it's down the pipeline. They submit those breakdowns to the local agents. Then the agents submit their actors that they see fit on that criteria. And this can be a broad spectrum. You know what I mean? I've been sent to castings.
But like you and I would not be up for the same part, probably.
Not necessarily.
Yeah,
no.
That's a very diplomatic answer. But because the casting directors are looking for a specific age and look and what have you, and so they're going to send that out to the agents, and then the agent's going to say, "Well, I have Heath who looks like this, and I have Scott who looks like that, so maybe I'll send them to the different auditions."
Exactly. Yeah, there's usually a specific breakdown, and what'll happen is the agent will submit a photo back to the director or producer and say, like, or the photo of all of their prospective actors, and then the directors, producers will call them in for auditions.
So I like that look, or I don't like that look for whatever reason, and that's when you get the call.
Right. So it's not as easy as well. For one, you don't ever find out about auditions. You know, it's not like it's put out in the local paper or put on Facebook or Instagram saying that Netflix is casting for the next, you know, huge role. It's very, very discreet. It goes through a chain of command. And so that's kind of a misconception. A lot of people don't understand that. So I know Brent Garcia is actually having a workshop in March with Suzanne Fortner, who's an actor in Albuquerque. She's going to come and give a workshop on kind of those topics: how to pursue an agent, how to pursue getting seen in front of casting directors. Okay,
interesting.
Yeah.
Because there's a difference between being maybe cast as an actor, a major or even minor actor in any kind of production, or maybe cast as an extra.
Correct.
Because we do see sometimes notices about extra auditions and things like that, and that's a whole different situation, usually.
It's a whole different situation, but all part of the same process of creating a production. Obviously,
but they have a look that they're looking for, but I don't necessarily maybe have to be part of the union to be an extra.
Right. Most extras are non-union, but here's a part of a SAG. The part of a SAG production is you have to hire, I believe it's the first 20 or 40% of the people as union people.
I see.
So that includes crew, actors, and extras. So you actually can be in a SAG extra.
Sure.
And you get paid more, obviously. But it's even extremely hard to become a SAG extra.
Right.
it can be extremely hard to become part of SAG.
Sure.
But becoming an extra, yeah, there's always cattle calls, is what they call them. And there's usually
That sounds like fun. A cattle call.
yeah.
I have images of lots of people, and you're just going through the process.
Yeah, don't use too much imagery there.
Yeah.
But no, it can be like that because
Right.
some of these productions need,
But they need
100 plus people at a
right
time.
to be a crowd or to be whatever milling around in the background
Yeah.
of these different scenes, which is what we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. And
But
then-
as New Mexico becomes a bigger and bigger player, I suppose, in these productions,
Mm-hmm.
there's more and more of these opportunities. If folks really want to pursue this
Yes.
career or even just a hobby, if you just want to travel around
Yeah.
and be an extra, you can probably do it.
Being an extra can be so much fun because you get the opportunity to be on a professional set working with leaders in the industry.
Right.
So you really get to see firsthand what goes on behind the scenes.
You've done that.
I
Yeah.
did. When I first moved to LA, I became part of this company called Central Casting. And this was before I was with an agent, and an agent soon told me, quit doing extra work if you want to become a principal actor. And so, but anyways,
Right.
I got a lot of great information from being an extra. I'd call into the service and they would literally send me out on a different TV show as much as I wanted to work. So one, it was kind of a nice little part-time job.
Yeah.
And secondly, it was like on-the-job training because I literally learned what a grip was, learned what, engineer was, learned what a cinematographer was.
Sure.
The list goes on and on.
Right.
And so you really can gain a wealth of information if it's something that you just want to get your foot in the door and start learning about. But if you want to be a principal actor, meaning having speaking roles, this and that, then I wouldn't pursue being an extra like as a long-term thing.
Right. You were talking to me
Because-
before we came on the air this morning about that sometimes if you are an extra, you may get almost typecast as an extra, and you don't
Yeah.
have those opportunities to get a bigger part, I guess.
Right, absolutely. Because what happens is you're going to find yourself in a network of kind of the same people. Like for instance, Albuquerque, they have about 3 casting directors down there that do majority of all the production work down there. You got Joanna Bolden, Kira Arai, Kathy Brink.
Gotta write these names down.
Right, yeah, give them a call.
Okay. Yes.
But anyways,
he told me to call you. I'm going to tell him. You sent me.
Absolutely, they should know me. I've worked with them a bit.
Right.
But anyways, you absolutely can get typecast as becoming, these background performers is what the real name for an extra is.
Okay.
Is a background performer. You got to give them a little bit of grace there. But the more and more a casting agent or even talent agent or director sees you as a background performer, it's hard for them to see you as a day player or a principal character actually having speaking parts.
Right.
Because when you're in the background, you're pantomiming.
You're not really talking, but you're really talking.
Right.
So
You're
the camera
pretending
will
to
pick
talk.
up you're having a conversation.
Right, exactly.
But your audio doesn't take away from the main scene, the
Exactly.
main speakers.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing.
So-
So with what you're doing at the Civic Center, these classes are for people who maybe want to pursue this as a career, or people who just want to have fun on stage with you and maybe be community theater, or what would you say?
All of the above.
Really?
I really, my daughter is 7 years old now, and she's just into everything from dance to sports. And as of recently, she's watched a bunch of my independent films that I've been a part of, some TV shows I've been a part of, and she's gotten kind of like a performing bug. You know what I mean? She's like, I want to be an actress, this and that. And so I put on just a couple of the workshops, the kids improv workshops, just to have some fun with some kids. And then I just really realized what a great opportunity this could be for the kids, especially. The classes are going to be for all ages, so teens and adults.
Right.
But specifically for kids, it's just such a great time right now. I mean, we see Chevelle Shepherd. Look at what she's doing at that level on The Voice, right? She's 16 years old. There's a 13-year-old on that show. You look at talent shows like America's Got Talent, where you have 8 and 9-year-olds doing these amazing things. And so that just kind of got me acknowledging that we don't have much of that opportunity here for kids to start feeding their talent. Does that make sense?
Yep.
As far as drama, around here, the earliest they can really get involved is in high school. Aside from Sandstone, who usually puts on some kids shows, which I think is an amazing opportunity.
Right.
But one thing that I was talking with Lisa Hutchins about is
Farmington Civic Center.
Yes,
Right.
Lisa Hutchins, who's the supervisor of the Farmington Civic Center. We were talking about just how the kids don't have anywhere to go throughout the year, you know, to really hone in on these crafts, to really pursue these skills that they might want to.
Right.
And so they show up to these auditions for these kid shows a little bit unprepared. So for one, I really want to provide a space where kids can get education, as well as anybody interested in acting. I'm putting on these classes because I want people to pursue their dreams. You
Right.
know, I want people to understand that they possibly could have some great talents. You know, and through these classes we can help bring those out. You know,
Right.
we're going to have improv classes, acting, vocals, musical theater.
And you have some of the contacts and experience, I think, to know what people can build on, what just needs a little bit of work, and I guess, are you okay to be brutally honest with people to say, well, maybe you need to focus over here, and maybe you're not going to be the next great singer, but maybe you could be a wonderful actor?
Absolutely.
You know?
And that's the one thing about the acting business, the entertainment business. It is cutthroat. So the one thing that I would love to do is to prepare kids, adults, teens for those next steps. You know, to be able to have the courage to go ahead and go for those things, but to be able to be have enough self-esteem to be able to take maybe rejection. You know, because
Right.
I don't know how many hundreds of auditions I went to that I didn't get the role. You know, and it's so frustrating. When I was auditioning a lot, I was getting, you know, almost 100% callback rate. And what happens with the casting is there's about 4 processes that go on. You know,
Right.
you get your initial audition, and if the casting director likes you, then they push you on to the director, and then the director will call you back. Then you audition for the director, and then if he likes you, there's a producer's callback. And even after that, there could be a possible screen test if they want to screen test you if you're up for a big role.
Okay.
I was screen tested a few times on some soap operas when I was in LA, and this is up for, you know, huge contracts up in the millions of dollars. I mean, this is
Right.
really big roles, and not getting those is constant. You know, it can really hurt you. You know,
Sure.
because you're going through a month-long process of callbacks, and then to get rejected at the end. You know, sometimes it's hard.
Right.
But that's the one thing I believe, to get back to your question, is it is important to be honest with these kids and adults, because that's going to give them the most success.
Right.
You know.
But a lot of those rejections, it may not be anything personal. It's
No.
just that you're not what they were looking for,
Yeah.
or for whatever, and it's so
Absolutely.
subjective, I guess is
Yes.
the word.
Absolutely.
You can be the best that you can be, and
Just might not look exactly what
the
they want.
producer's saying, well, you know, we
Yeah.
wanted a blonde guy, or we wanted someone who's a
Exactly.
bit older, or someone with a little more gray hair. No
Yeah.
offense. But
No, no.
that's
You're
what they were
absolutely
looking for.
right. You know,
Yeah.
if you get a callback, that usually means you're good enough. You know, that
Right.
usually means you're good enough, and you've been picked part of another group of people, and now it just comes down to the director and producer's vision of what they
Right.
want for their show. So yeah, it's so subjective. I mean, it could be your height, your weight, your build, the way you smile. You know, it could have nothing to do with your actual talent. So
True.
a lot of the times it does come down to just being the right person. You know, just being the right person for that job.
Sure, it's a crazy business, but then it makes sense when we watch these films and we're like, wow, that guy really was that character in that movie, or that
Well,
girl, or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
they become that person, and and it really sells the story.
Yeah, well, like I just saw an interview with that recent Bohemian Rhapsody movie. Forgive me, I forget the actor's name who played Freddie
Mercury,
Freddie
right?
Mercury.
Right.
But you know, the director of that film saw him in his TV show Robot. He has I think it's a Netflix show, but it's called something Robot.
All right.
And they just called him and said, hey, you know, we love what you're doing. We think you look like Freddie. We would love for you to come and audition for this role for Bohemian Rhapsody. And the actor was like, well, I can't sing, I can't play the piano, I can't do nothing. Well, to make a long story short, they ended up casting him because now you can see, if you've seen the movie, he looks like a spitting image of him.
Right.
And he, and
they could fix the other parts of it.
They can fix the other parts. They send him to Paris for dance school, for singing, to learn how to play the piano. So once you get to that level, I mean, as long as you look the part, you can pretty much...
they can fix the rest of it.
They can fix the rest of it.
Interesting. Well, Heath, we just have a few minutes. In fact, not very much time left this morning, but the Academy is starting up in
January 7th. So what we're going to do is we'll start classes January 7th, run through May 24th, and they're going to be for all ages.
Okay.
You can go to my Facebook page called Kate's Creative Artists. We have a full schedule up there. I'm working on a website getting built. December 4th, so next Tuesday from 6 to 7, we're kind of having a pre-registration and a meet and greet. We have Sheriff Piper, who's going to be doing our musical theater class, as well as Jackie Thornton, who's going to be doing our vocal classes. Both extremely talented.
Nice.
Going to be so great for all the students that come through.
Where's that going to take place on the 4th?
So that will be at the Farmington Civic Center from 6 to 7 p.m. So please come, have some refreshments, and come and just ask questions. We're really just kind of holding a meeting for people to come and find out more about this Kate's Creative Academy that we're going to be putting on.
Very exciting.
One last thing is June 6th, 7th, and 8th, the Academy will be putting on a big production at the Farmington Civic Center, and it'll be something that we do at the end of every semester.
Nice.
And all the people involved with the classes throughout January to May will have the opportunity to perform, and we'll be putting on a fun kind of vaudeville-ish sketch comedy show that I'm in the process of writing right now.
Okay. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be so awesome.
And again, lots of great opportunities.
So many great opportunities.
Grow from this.
Yes, come learn acting. Come just have fun. The improv class is so great. It is so great for kids. If you have kids, I really encourage you to bring them because it's so great for their social skills, critical thinking abilities. It helps them develop a quick wit. The classes are just extraordinary, and it can help them become comfortable in uncomfortable situations, as well as teens and adults. If you have a fear of speaking in front of people, come to one of my improv classes. I will get you out of your shell and just show you how to be comfortable in uncomfortable situations.
All right. Great for all ages.
Great for all ages.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Heath Cates.
Scott, thank you so much for having me, man.
You bet. Great to see you. Heath Cates, my guest here on KSJE. Back with more in just a moment.
This is the Mental Health Minute with Dr. Ariel Lease.
Anger is a normal and healthy emotion, but turns unhealthy when it spirals out of control. Chronic explosive anger has serious consequences for relationships and mental and physical health. The good news is that getting anger under control is easier than you think. First, explore what's behind your anger. Anger is a secondary emotion and often masks other feelings.